You thought it was falling apart. But what if I told you it's all coming together? You've been fighting battles no one sees. Smiling in public, breaking in silence. Questioning why the weight never lifts. I saw every tear, every night you almost gave up, every moment you felt forgotten. But you are not forgotten. You were being prepared. They didn't understand you. They walked away. They tried to break you. But they couldn't touch what I placed inside you. You felt delayed, but you were being aligned. Listen carefully. This is not the end of your story. This is the turning point. Something is shifting. Doors you didn't even knock on are about to open. Stay with me, because what's about to happen next will prove why everything had to fall apart first. What broke you did not come to destroy you. It came to shape you. I saw the moment it happened. When everything you trusted collapsed. When the weight became too much. And your strength gave out. You thought that was the end of you. But I was there, closer than your breath. You were not being crushed. You were being transformed. Every tear you cried carried purpose. Every sleepless night was not wasted. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every silent battle was carving something deeper inside of you. You kept asking, why is this happening to me? But the real question was, who am I becoming through this? Because what broke you was building your authority. Not the kind the world understands. Not loud, not visible, not celebrated. But real authority, spiritual authority. The kind that walks into darkness and doesn't flinch. The kind that has been tested, stretched, and refined by fire. You didn't gain this by comfort. You didn't gain this by easy victories. You gained it in the moments you almost gave up, but didn't. When you stood alone and still chose to stand. When your heart was shattered, and you still chose to believe. When nothing made sense, and yet you didn't walk away. That is where your authority was born. Do you understand now? The breaking was necessary, because I could not release what I have for you into the version of you that had never been tested. I needed you to know what it feels like to lose, so you would never be controlled by fear again. I needed you to feel weak, so you would finally lean into my strength. I needed you to be misunderstood, so you would stop seeking validation from people and start walking in truth. You thought you were falling apart, but you were shedding everything that could not carry your calling. And now, look at you. Stronger, even if you don't feel it yet. Wiser, even if you're still healing. Different, even if others don't recognize you anymore. That's because you are not who you used to be. You carry something now, something forged in pain, something built in silence, something that cannot be taken from you. Authority. The next season of your life will require it, because where I'm taking you, you cannot be easily shaken. You cannot be easily broken. You cannot be easily distracted. And now you're ready. Not because it didn't hurt, but because you survived it. Not because it didn't break you, but because you allowed me to rebuild you. So stop looking at your past like it defeated you. It trained you. It equipped you. It anointed you. What broke you was the very thing I used to build the power you're about to walk in. And this time, you won't just survive. You will stand. The rejection you felt, it cut deeper than you expected. I saw it, the moment they turned away, the silence that replaced what you thought was loyalty, the doors that closed without explanation. You ask, why wasn't I enough? You questioned your worth. You replayed every moment, wondering what you did wrong. But listen to me carefully. You were not rejected because you lacked value. You were removed because you carried too much of it. What you called rejection was my protection in disguise. I blocked what you were begging me to keep, because you couldn't see what I saw. You couldn't see the conversations behind your back. You couldn't see the intentions that didn't match their words. You couldn't see how staying connected would have slowly drained your purpose. So I stepped in, not to hurt you, but to save you. Yes, it felt like loss. Yes, it felt like abandonment. Yes, it left you confused and wounded. But if I had allowed it to continue, it would have cost you far more than your comfort. It would have cost you your calling. Some people were never assigned to your future. They were only present for a season, and that season had to end. But you held on. You tried to fix it. You tried to prove yourself. You tried to earn a place where you were never meant to stay. So I made the separation undeniable. Because your destiny cannot grow in environments that cannot honor it. I know it hurt when they walked away. I know it broke something inside you when you realized you were standing alone. But you were not alone. I was clearing the path. I was removing distractions. I was cutting ties that would have kept you small. I was protecting your peace, your focus, your future. And now, look back. If they had stayed, would you have become who you are now? Would you have found your strength, your voice, your dependence on me? Or would you still be shrinking just to be accepted? You see it now, don't you? The rejection wasn't punishment. It was positioning. I had something greater waiting. But your hands were too full, holding on to what I was trying to take away. So I allowed the separation, so you could finally receive what's meant for you. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are not unwanted. You are protected. And what I remove, I replace with something better, something aligned, something that won't require you to lose yourself to keep it. So stop grieving what left, because what left you was never worthy of where I'm taking you. Trust me. That rejection you cried over was the very thing that kept you from a life you were never meant to live. And now, you are free to step into the one that was always yours. Your isolation, it felt unbearable, didn't it? The silence, the distance, the absence of people you thought would always be there. You looked around and wondered, why am I alone? You questioned if I had left you too, if somehow you had been forgotten. But I need you to hear me clearly. You were never abandoned. You were separated. What you felt as loneliness was actually divine positioning. I pulled you away on purpose, because the noise around you was drowning out my voice. The opinions, the expectations, the constant pressure to fit in, it was suffocating what I placed inside you, so I removed you. Not to punish you, but to protect what's sacred within you. I know it didn't feel good. I know the quiet nights felt endless. I know the absence of connection made you question your worth. But in that silence, I was speaking. In that stillness, I was rebuilding you. You didn't notice it at first. You just felt the loss, the emptiness, the ache of not being understood. But something began to change. You started thinking differently, seeing differently, feeling things on a deeper level. That's because you were no longer being shaped by people, you were being shaped by me. Isolation was your training ground, where distractions faded and clarity began, where you stopped performing and started becoming, where you no longer needed validation because you finally started hearing my truth about you. Do you understand now? I couldn't take you higher, while you were still tied to environments that kept you small. I couldn't reveal your purpose in rooms that were never meant to hold your destiny. So I called you out, away from the crowd, away from the noise, away from everything familiar. Because purpose requires separation, and yes, it feels lonely. But there is a difference between being alone and being chosen. You were chosen. Chosen to walk a path not everyone will understand. Chosen to carry something not everyone can handle. Chosen to become someone not everyone will recognize. And that requires time with me. Undistracted, unfiltered, uninterrupted. You thought you were losing people, but you were actually finding yourself, the real you, the one I designed before the world tried to redefine you. And now, you're not the same. You don't think the same. You don't chase the same things. You don't fit where you used to. That's not a problem. That's proof. Proof that the separation worked. Proof that you are evolving. Proof that you are ready for what's next. So stop fearing the isolation. It was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. Because where I'm taking you, you won't need the crowd to feel complete. You will walk with confidence, with clarity, with purpose, and you will know without a doubt that every moment you spent alone was actually time spent being set apart for something greater. Every unseen battle you fought, I saw it. The ones no one clapped for, the ones you couldn't explain, the ones that left you exhausted, but still standing. You smiled in front of people while carrying storms they knew nothing about. You kept going even when everything inside you was asking you to stop. And you wondered, is this breaking me? No, it was strengthening your calling. Because your calling was never meant to be fragile. It was never meant to collapse under pressure. It was never meant to depend on comfort. It was designed to endure. And endurance is not built in easy moments. It's built in the battles no one sees. The nights you cried in silencer, but still chose to trust. The mornings you woke up heavy, but still chose to move forward. That's where your strength was forged. You thought you were barely surviving, but you were actually being trained. Every attack you faced was shaping your discernment. Every delay you experienced was building your patience. Every moment you felt overwhelmed was increasing your capacity. Nothing you went through was random. It was all part of the preparation. Because what I placed inside you is too powerful to remain untested. If it had not been challenged, it would not have been ready. So I allowed the pressure, not to destroy you, but to reveal you, to show you what you carry, to prove to you that there is something inside you that cannot be shaken. You didn't break, even when it felt like you would. You didn't quit, even when it seemed easier to walk away. You didn't lose yourself, even when everything around you was falling apart. That is not weakness. That is calling. And now you are different, stronger in ways you can't fully see yet, deeper than you used to be, more aware, more grounded. Because battles change you, but not in the way you feared. They don't take your purpose away, they refine it. They strip away fear, they remove doubt, they expose what doesn't belong. Until all that's left is what I placed within you from the beginning. Pure, unshakable, ready. So stop looking at your struggles like they were setbacks. They were setups. Setups for the strength you now carry. Setups for the authority you're stepping into. Setups for the level you're about to enter. Because where I'm taking you next, you will need everything you went through. Nothing was wasted. Not the pain, not the confusion, not the battles you fought alone. All of it built you. All of it strengthened you. All of it prepared you to walk boldly in what you were called to do. And now, you're no longer the person who just survives storms. You are the one who was built in them. What attacked you was never random. It didn't choose you by accident. It didn't come into your life without reason. It recognized something. Something you were still trying to understand. Something you were still doubting. Something you hadn't fully seen in yourself yet. But it saw it clearly. The greatness within you. That's why the pressure was so intense. That's why the attacks felt personal. That's why the battles didn't make sense. Because what's inside of you carries weight. And anything carrying purpose will face resistance. You kept asking, why me? Why so much opposition? Why so many obstacles? But the truth is, not everyone is a threat. You are. Not because of who you are right now, but because of who you are becoming. There is something in you that disrupts darkness. Something in you that refuses to stay small. And before you even stepped into it, the opposition tried to stop it. That's why it came early. Before the breakthrough. Before the clarity. Before you fully understood your calling. It tried to break you before you could rise. But it failed. You're still here. Still standing, still searching, still moving forward, even when it hurts. That alone is proof that what's inside of you cannot be destroyed. Listen carefully. The attack was never a sign of weakness. It was confirmation of significance. If there was nothing valuable in you, there would have been no reason to fight you. But there is something valuable, something rare, something powerful. And now you're starting to see it. Through the pain, through the survival, through everything you've endured. You are beginning to realize you're not ordinary. You were never meant to be. So stop questioning your worth based on what tried to break you. Because what tried to break you only revealed who you truly are. Chosen, set apart, marked for something greater. And now that you're still standing, nothing can deny it anymore. The delay, it tested you, didn't it? You prayed, you believed, you waited, and still nothing moved. Doors stayed closed. Opportunities slipped away. Things you thought would happen by now didn't. And slowly a question began to grow inside you. Did I miss it? Did I do something wrong? Is this not meant for me anymore? But listen to me carefully. This was never denial. This was alignment. I was not withholding your destiny from you. I was preparing everything around you and within you to receive it. Because what I have for you cannot arrive in chaos. It must meet you at the right place, in the right state, at the right time. And you weren't there yet. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you were still becoming. There were things in you that needed to grow, mindsets that needed to shift, wounds that needed to heal. Because if I had given it to you too soon, you would have carried it with fear, handled it with doubt, or worse, lost it under pressure. So I slowed it down, not to frustrate you, but to secure you. I was aligning your strength with your calling, your character with your assignment, your faith with the level you're about to step into. And while you thought nothing was happening, everything was being arranged. People were being positioned, doors were being prepared, paths were being cleared that you couldn't see. Even the things that didn't work out were part of the alignment. Because not every opportunity is your assignment. Some things had to fall apart, so you wouldn't settle for less than what was truly yours. I know it felt like you were stuck, like time was passing you by, like others were moving ahead while you stood still. But you were not stuck. You were being set in place. Carefully, intentionally, precisely. Because where you are going, timing matters. And now you're closer than you think. The waiting has strengthened you. The delay has deepened you. The process has prepared you. You are not the same person who first asked for this. You are ready now. So don't look at the delay with frustration anymore. Look at it with understanding. It wasn't rejection. It wasn't failure. It wasn't forgotten. It was alignment. And when it happens, when everything finally comes together, you will realize it didn't come late. It came exactly when you were able to carry it. You thought you were alone in the fight, but you weren't. I was there, moving in places you couldn't see, working in ways you couldn't understand. While you were battling what was in front of you, I was handling what was behind the scenes. You saw the closed doors, but you didn't see what I was blocking. You felt the resistance, but you didn't see what I was holding back. There were things forming against you that never reached you, because I stopped them. There were plans set in motion that never touched your life, because I cancelled them. You called it delay. You called it bad luck. You called it confusion. But it was protection. I was fighting for you in rooms you've never entered, in conversations you've never heard, in moments you'll never fully know about. And still, you questioned if I was with you. I heard every doubt, I saw every tear, I felt every moment you thought I had gone silent. But my silence was not absence. It was strategy, because not every battle requires your involvement. Some things I handle without your help, so you don't carry what was never yours to fight. You were exhausting yourself, trying to control outcomes, trying to fix what I had already taken into my hands. But now look back. Think about the things that didn't work out, the situations that fell apart, the paths that suddenly closed. What if I told you that was me stepping in? Not to block your blessing, but to defend it. Because what I have for you must be protected before it is revealed. You don't see the full picture yet, but I do. I see where you're going. I see who you're becoming. I see what's waiting for you on the other side of this season. And I will not allow anything to interfere with that. So even when it feels like you're losing, you're actually being covered. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, everything is being handled. Even when you don't hear me, I am working, fighting for you, clearing the way, securing what belongs to you. So release the fear, release the need to understand everything, and trust this. You were never fighting alone, and you never will be. Your pain, it felt unfair, didn't it? Like you were carrying more than you should. Like the weight on your shoulders was heavier than everyone else's. Like no matter how hard you tried, the struggle followed you. You looked at others and wondered, why is my path so difficult? Why does it hurt this much? Why do I have to go through this? But listen to me, your pain was never pointless. It was preparation. Preparation for a level they cannot access. Not because they are less than you, but because they were not chosen to carry what you carry. What you went through was not designed for comfort. It was designed to stretch you, to deepen you, to expand your capacity beyond what feels normal. Because where I'm taking you, ordinary strength won't survive. You needed something greater, something refined through pressure, something built through endurance, something unshakable. And that only comes through pain, every tear you cried, was increasing your sensitivity. Every betrayal you faced was sharpening your discernment. Every moment you felt alone was teaching you how to stand without depending on people. You weren't just going through it, you were being upgraded through it. And now you're not the same. You see things others don't see. You feel things others ignore. You understand things others haven't experienced. That's because your pain opened you. It took you deeper. Deeper than surface-level living. Deeper than temporary satisfaction. Deeper than the need to be accepted by everyone. You were taken into a place where only the strong remain. And not strong by appearance, but strong in spirit. That's why some people can't understand you anymore. They didn't go through what you went through. They didn't fight the battles you fought. They didn't survive the moments that almost broke you. So they can't access your level. Not your mindset, not your strength, not your depth. Because your level was built through fire. And now you carry something rare. A resilience that cannot be taught, a wisdom that cannot be faked, a presence that has been forged in pain. You earned this, not by striving, but by surviving. Not by avoiding the struggle, but by walking through it. So stop wishing your path was easier. Because if it was, you wouldn't be who you are now. You wouldn't be ready for where you're going. You wouldn't be able to handle what's coming. Your pain qualified you. It prepared you for rooms that require depth, for responsibilities that demand strength, for a life that cannot be lived on the surface. And now you are ready to step into it. Because what hurt you was the very thing that elevated you. The breakthrough, it's coming. I see it. I feel it. I've been orchestrating it long before you even knew to hope. You've been standing at the edge of despair, haven't you? Looking around at the pieces of your life that seem scattered, feeling like every step forward is met with 10 steps back, feeling like the world is pressing against you, pushing you down, whispering that it's over. But you didn't give up, even when the nights were the darkest. Even when the silence was deafening. Even when the pain made you question yourself and wonder if I had left you behind. You held on, not because it was easy, not because you understood the path, not because anyone else believed in you, but because you believed in me. You refused to surrender your destiny to fear. You refused to let your failures define you. You refuse to step off the path I've marked for you. And that refusal, that unshakable persistence, is why your breakthrough is here. I know it doesn't feel like it yet. I know the storms are still raging. I know the pressure still feels unbearable. But this is the final stretch. This is the moment when what has been hidden begins to reveal itself. This is the time when every tear, every setback, every trial, every lonely night converges to form a victory that can only come from me. Do you see now why you had to endure? Why every attack, every betrayal, every closed door had a purpose? It was all building you up for this moment, this very breakthrough. Because your breakthrough cannot arrive in a soul that has not been tested. It cannot arrive in a heart that has not been refined. It cannot arrive in a life that is not prepared to receive it. And you are ready. You are ready because you survived what others could not. You are ready because you refused to quit when quitting seemed easier. You are ready because every time the world said no, you leaned into me instead. Every time circumstances tried to crush you, you stood firm. Now the wait is over. The unseen work is complete. The chains that held you back are breaking. The doors that were closed are swinging wide. The blessings, the opportunities, the favor you've been praying for are on their way. And when they arrive, you will finally see that the struggle was never against you. The trials were never meaningless. The pain was never wasted. You will see that every tear watered the soil of your purpose. You will see that every obstacle was a stepping stone to your victory. You will see that every no led to the ultimate yes, I reserved just for you. Your breakthrough is coming because you refuse to give up, because you refused to quit, because you trusted me when it seemed impossible. And now, everything is aligning. Everything you've endured, everything you've prayed for, everything you've believed for, is about to manifest. Get ready to step into a new level, chosen one. Your breakthrough is not just near, it is inevitable. Stand tall, hold fast, keep your eyes on me. Because the life you've been waiting for is finally waiting for you. Listen to me closely. Everything you thought was falling apart was actually falling into place. Every tear you cried, every sleepless night, every moment you felt weak and alone, it was shaping you, not by accident, not by chance, but by my hand. You see it now, don't you? The pieces of your life that made no sense before they were being arranged. I was preparing you, molding you, strengthening you for a calling they cannot touch. The struggles that tried to stop you, they were never stronger than I am. The rejection that pierced your heart, it was shielding you from what would have delayed your destiny. Every closed door, every no, every betrayal you endured was unseen protection, keeping you aligned with the path I ordained. And now your pain is no longer a weight to carry. It is the fuel that ignites your purpose. The very trials that tried to break you have built a foundation no one else can walk on. Every fight, every test, every obstacle was activating the destiny I've placed inside you. You were being prepared for something greater than you could imagine. And the moment is coming when all you endured will converge into victory. The pain you once questioned will reveal why you were chosen. The protection you didn't understand will show you how loved you were all along. The preparation you resisted will launch you into a life only I could orchestrate. Rise now in your heart and see it. Your struggle was never in vain. Your pain had a purpose. Your story is coming together, and what was once hidden in the shadows is about to shine in full glory. Your destiny is awakening, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will stop it. Listen to me, chosen one. Look at how far you've come. All the nights you thought I had left you, I was there. All the pain you endured, all the moments you felt forgotten, I never turned away. I never left your side, not for 1 second. Even when the world tried to crush you, I was holding you. Even when every door closed, I was opening the doors you couldn't see. You were tested, yes. You were pushed to the edge, yes. You were stretched beyond what you thought you could bear, yes. But every trial, every tear, every battle was preparing you for this very moment. The moment where your strength is undeniable, your faith unshakable, and your destiny unstoppable. Do not fear what comes next. Do not look back at the seasons of struggle and despair and think you are weak. You are stronger than every storm that tried to destroy you. You are more resilient than every attack meant to stop you. You are exactly who I created you to be: unbroken, unstoppable, and victorious. Stand now with courage. Lift your head, because the chains that held you back are breaking. The past is behind you, and the future is waiting. ready to be claimed. The blessings, the favor, the promises I placed in your heart are all aligning. What seemed impossible is now inevitable. The path you were made for is unfolding before you. Do not doubt it. Do not fear it. Do not shrink from it. I am with you. I have never left you. I never will. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are destined for greatness beyond what your eyes have seen. So rise up, chosen one. Rise up with the strength you didn't know you had. Rise up with the faith that has carried you through every trial. Rise up knowing that every struggle, every moment of loneliness, every shadow that tried to intimidate you was only preparing you for victory. Your breakthrough is here. Your destiny is calling. Your life is about to shine in ways that will amaze even you. Walk boldly. Walk faithfully. Walk knowing you are seen, you are loved, and you are unstoppable. The world tried to hold you down, but you are rising. And from this day forward, nothing will ever be the same. Stand up, chosen one. Your season of triumph is here. Claim it. Your destiny is alive, and it is unstoppable.